Good evening, all of you.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, madam.
Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, fine, good. So y'all are my business management students, right? So we are talking about the HR module. So far, we have already discussed the module 1. So today we are going to start up the module 2, right?
Line is not clear. Can't hear.
Let me check. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's now okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Right. So we are talking about the module 2, which is the departmentization of the human resource management. Now we are going to identify the HR as a department, right? So that is the meaning on this module, right? So before I move on to the second module, is there any question from the first module? Do you have any questions?
At the moment, no, ma'am.
At the moment, no. That means all clear, right? Is it? Okay, fine. So we will. So module 2 is a like a small module, right? So we have only 2 sections to talk. So here, these are the things that we have already discussed on the first module. And on the second module, we are going to talk about the HR department as a department. How is it going on? And with the new technology advancement, how the digital concepts have practices come across in the HR department, right? So those are the 2 areas that we are going to find out in this module. So first, we are going to see the identifying department in human resource management. So in every organization, there is a department called HR department, right? So now we are going to see what is this HR department do, right? So can someone tell me, normally, what is the task which are done by the HR department?
Recruitment,
Okay.
and then maintaining the employees files and all,
Mm-hmm.
and payroll, salary, wages.
Good.
Simply, can't we say manage human resources?
Can. When it comes to a definition, yes. So we are going to find out what is meant by an HR department. So HR department can be defined as a group of people who is managing the employee life cycle, we could say. Right, so employee life cycle starts from the recruitment, which is the interviews, and ends from the resignation. So that is a life cycle, employee life cycle in a particular organization, right? So we could identify the HR department as a group of people who is responsible for managing employee life cycle and handling the employee benefits, right? So that is what the HR department does mainly, right? So then we are going to identify the structure of a HR department. So mainly the structure means the first person or the in charge of the HR department is the HR manager, right? Then we have assistant managers, executives, and HR executives and HR assistants, right? So those are the typical structure. But in some companies, it might get varied, right? So the in charge of the HR department is not the HR manager. There can be an HR director, right? Then we have senior HR managers, then general manager HR, likewise the higher positions. So these positions are available when it comes to a large organization. For an example, let's say Brandex, let's say John Kales or Mars, likewise Aitken Spence, Haymas. Likewise, when we are talking about the larger organizations, they have positions like HR directors, group HR managers, senior HR managers, likewise, right? But normally, in most of the like average level companies, the head of the HR department is the HR manager, right? So then we have the assistant managers, human resources, HR executives, HR assistants. But when it comes to large organizations, there can be several teams. For an example, interviews, recruitment stuff is done by a group of teams. So there will be a assistant manager, there will be executives, assistants who handle the recruitment. So there can be a group of people who handles the salaries. There can be a group of people who handles the training and development. There can be a group of people who handles the health and safety. Likewise, we have several kind of groups which handles each key functions of human resources, right? So when it comes to large organization, the HR department is sometimes maybe around like 25 to 30 employees, right? Whereas in some companies, there are only 3 to 5 employees in the HR department. So that is the structure of a HR department. Is it clear for you all?
Yes, madam.
Any questions on the structure and the definition part?
No, ma'am.
No, right? Okay. So now we are going to see what are the functions or the tasks of a HR department. So you all already know, right? You all told me about it, right? So let's see what are those. Can you all see the screen?
Yes,
So these are the some of the functions which are done by the HR department, right? So you all have already known about, you have learned on 12 key functions of HR, right? So there can be a lot of tasks which is included under each of the function. Now, for an example, we could say recruit candidates, hire the right employees, right? So those two functions are included in the recruitment and selection function. So process payroll is included under rewards. Conduct disciplinary actions might be comes under industrial relations. Update policies may be data and compliance. Likewise, there can be tasks which are connected with the main 12 functions of HR, right? So these are the some of the functions that the HR department does, right? So just go through these 10 tasks or activities and let me know if you don't understand any point. Are you all clear with that? So here I'm not going to give you a separate note because these are very simple. So if you want, you can take down the notes from the slides, right? Because I won't be giving you any of the notes, right? So if there is somebody who wants to take some notes, so I'll be keeping this slide for 1 minute and then move forward. Right, so I hope you all have done with that, right? So let me move to the second part of the module. So we are going to identify the HR in the digitalization of the department, right? Being digitalized, what are the trends that the HR is currently facing, right? So there are few trends that we are going to talk about here. So the first one is remote work model. So mainly remote work model means, as you all know, with the pandemic situation from 2019, most of the organizations, they started up work from home, right? So we call that concept as the remote work model. So the employees will work from wherever they are, but they will continue to work, right? So that is the remote work model, right? So being the digitalization, company started up remote work modeling system. So mainly some of this organizations, especially the IT industry, is practicing this remote work model at the currently also. They have not moved to the physical. Still, they are working remotely. And then we have the employee experience. So being virtual, conducting everything virtual, HR needs to find out the experience, employees' experience with the new technology. Right? So that is going to be again another HR trend. And then we have online training and upskilling. So online training means earlier we used to have these training programs physically, right? So we are going for a training room and one person will come and talk to us. That is happened to have like previously. But nowadays with these virtual things comes up, most of the companies are conducting training programs online, right? So that is what we are doing also, right? Earlier we used to have the classes physically, but nowadays we don't have the classes physically. We learn the subject through virtual, right? So likewise, the employees will enhance or develop their skills virtually through online training and upskilling programs. Then we have the employee mental well-being and physical well-being, right? So mainly physical and mental well-being means when the people are working from home, right? They cannot have the real concentrate on work, especially the female employees, right? So being at home, they need to take care of the household stuff. They need to take care of the kids. They need to take care of the spouse. They need to do the cooking and everything while attending to the work also. So in a situation like that, what does the HR do in order to keep or maintain the employees' well-being? So that is again another trend. So all these trends have emerged with the digitalization of the department, right? Then we have the cloud-based HR systems. So cloud-based HR systems means employees can access the HR systems from wherever they work. Either they can work from home, they can access the data. If it is through their mobile phones while they are traveling, right, they can access the data because it's on a drive. So that drive, we call it as the cloud-based system. So all the HR data, all the HR information is on that cloud-based system. So employees can access wherever they are. Then we have the people analytics. So mainly the people analytics means employee related data has been taken into the decision-making process. At a given time, top management or leadership needs to know how many employees are there, department-wise, how many employees are there, right? So what is the revenue per employee? What is the absenteeism rate? Likewise, all these employee-related data is captured. So that is what we call the people analytics. So these details are important for the decision-making process. Then we have the virtual onboarding. So onboarding means the first day of the employee. You know, onboarding. Onboarding to a plane, what do you know? What do you mean by onboarding? Onboarding to a plane, for an example. That means you're getting into the plane, right? So likewise, onboarding to an organization means you're getting into the organization, right? So you walk through the organization to the organization. So earlier we used to have that onboarding practice physically, where we go and talk to each and every employee or maybe the leadership or the management and get to know them personally, talk with them physically, right? But with the technology, with the digitalization, the onboarding also has become virtual. whereas these onboarding will be done by the MS Teams or Zoom meetings. And lastly, we have artificial intelligence in HR. So mainly that is meant by how the artificial intelligence, the robot like knowledge and stuff is being used for HR. Now, for an example, I hope you all may aware in larger organizations, earlier we used to have, okay, send your application through email, right? So that is what we normally practiced when there is an interview, when there is a vacancy. But nowadays in some companies, what they are practicing is they ask the candidate to upload the CV to a system. Upload a CV to a system of the company. So once the candidate is updated their CVs, there will be artificial intelligence who can filter or who can shortlist the candidates or the CVs according to the requirements of the organization. For an example, let's say the organization needs a male candidate, 30 to 35 with a degree, right? So those are the three parameters or the requirements. So once the candidates have already uploaded their information to a system, then what will happen means all the female candidates' CVs will be rejected. All the employees who are less than 30 and above 35 will be rejected. And accordingly, who do not have a degree will be rejected. So there can be thousands of applications. Out of that, artificial intelligence will screen out or shortlisted as the most suitable candidate according to the requirement. Now, for an example, if you log on to Dialog website, you can see there is a pop-up message comes in. How can I help you? Live chat. So that is an artificial intelligence. There is nobody to chat, but when we put our concern or the problem, they will give you a solution on what to do. So that is artificial intelligence. Right, so those are the 8 points that which I needed to explain you all. With the technology, with the digitalization, the HR practices, current HR practices. So mainly we could define them as the HR trends. Any questions on the 8 points? If not, please write the topic as identifying the latest digital department of human resource management. Then the first one, remote work model. Under that, the pandemic situation has forced employers to forced employers to switch to a remote working model, switch to a remote working model remote working model to keep employees safe to keep employees safe to keep employees safe, right? With more and more people working remotely, with more and more people working remotely, organizations will have to rethink organizations will have to rethink
We'll have to.
rethink rethink their strategies to maintaining their strategies on maintaining on maintaining the company culture, the company culture, teamwork, teamwork, technology equipments, technology equipments, technology equipments, and work-life balance. And work-life balance. Second one, employee experience. Employee experience. Under that, HR redesign employees' journey. HR redesign employees' journey. HR redesign employees' journeys. While measuring the virtual employee experience, while measuring the virtual employee experience, virtual employee experience, right from hiring the employee right from hiring the employee to their resignation.
to their
resignation. It will not just about, it will not just about managing the employee experience managing the employee experience but also looking into personal lives but also looking into personal lives personal lives of employees while they work from home. While they work from home. Giving feedback and giving feedback and giving feedback and mentoring employees mentoring employees will be part of the new improved will be part of the new improved employee experience. Employee experience. Third one, online training and upskilling. Under that, HR takes initiatives HR takes initiatives to connect with employees and provide virtual learning experience provide virtual learning experience with a focus on with a focus on creating a culture of Creating a culture of. Creating a culture of continuous learning and growth. Continuous learning and growth. Fourth one, employee well-being and mental health. Employee well-being and mental health. Organizations are already rethinking. Organizations are already rethinking general ways to recreate general ways to recreate employee wellness programs and benefits. Employee wellness programs and benefits. Benefits, including physical wellness, including physical wellness, mental health, mental health, mental health, flexible work schedules, flexible work schedules, and more. Flexible work schedules and more. Next one, cloud-based HR system. Cloud-based HR systems. When the pandemic started, or else since the pandemic started, since the pandemic started, companies have made huge investment in HR technology, HR technology, with a focus on cloud-based HR system, with a focus on cloud-based HR systems, cloud-based HR systems that can be easily assessed, anytime, from anywhere, with complete privacy of data. With complete privacy of data. Privacy of data. Then next one, people analytics. People analytics. People analytics will be used for will be used for better hiring decisions, will be used for better hiring decisions, improving engagement, improving engagement, improving engagement, effective performance management and effective performance management and reducing employee turnover. People analytics will continue to drive people analytics will continue to drive value for organizations value for organizations and improve processes based on data. The leadership will be able to the leadership will be able to measure HR effectiveness, measure HR effectiveness, revenue per employee, revenue per employee, training cost, etc. Training cost, etc. Next one, virtual onboarding. Virtual onboarding. Virtual hiring and onboarding. Virtual hiring and onboarding virtual hiring and onboarding will give a complete digital experience, will give a complete digital experience complete digital experience to candidates. To candidates. Organization need to remain organizations need to remain need to remain prepared with modern recruiting tools, prepared with modern recruiting tools, tools to provide best candidate experience to provide best candidate experience and effective onboarding. And effective onboarding. Last one, artificial intelligence in HR. Multiple HR practices, multiple HR practices HR practices have benefited by have benefited by benefited by integration of artificial intelligence, benefited by integration of artificial intelligence artificial intelligence in HR technology right from recruitment right from recruitment employee engagement to employee development. Right. So those are the 8 points that we are going to talk under digitalization of human resource department. Right. So that is the end of the module 2. Any questions from this module? What I have explained you so far. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Do you have any questions? If you have, you can ask me, right? So till you ask any questions, I will be loading the next presentation, which is the 3rd module, right? Do you have any questions?
No, it's clear.
Clear, no? Right. Okay, then we'll move forward for the 3rd module, right? So 3rd module is job designing, right? So designing the job. So now we are going to see when there is a job, how the HR people is going to design that job, right? So that is the main idea on that. So the definition of job designing is as it is. Job designing is the process of deciding on the content of a job with regards to duties and responsibilities, on the methods to be used in carry out a job, on the relationship that should exist between the job holder and supervisor, right? So mainly the job designing is creating a job design is going to be a part of the job analysis, which is you're going to learn about learn in the next module, right? So job designing is a part of the job analysis. Mainly job designing includes organizing tasks, duties and responsibilities which is connected to a job to achieve the organizational objectives, right? So when we are designing a job, mainly we need to include the duties and the responsibilities of that particular job, right? So mainly we can rectify or we can define this process of organizing work into the task of performing by an employee, right? So mainly, as you can see on the definition, content of a job, which is the duties and the responsibilities. So job designing is a process of deciding on the content of a job, methods to be used in the job, and what kind of a relationship that the job has. So methods to be used must be machinery, equipment, and the relationship between the superior or the management. So those are the defining on those three aspects is what we call the job designing process. Are you all clear with that? Right? So when we are discussing on the duties and the responsibilities, right? So job designing is the main part or the first part of that. So we are going to find out what are the advantages of that job designing. So as you can remember, job designing is a process of creating content of the job, which is the duties and the responsibilities, right? So we'll see what are those advantages. So it mainly gaining new skills of the employees, right? So a properly prepared job designing is a way of improving the quality of work because all the employees know what they're supposed to do, right? Because it's a matter of written down the duties and the responsibilities, right? So with a good designing of the work schedules or the work processes, right? And organization ultimately will have high motive employees, right? Which they know what they are doing and they will be highly satisfied in their work also. So when they are motivated, the employees can gain new skills, right? Quality of time spent on a job. Workers can adjust to make work more efficient because they know what they're supposed to do. And since The duties and the responsibilities are listed down. Managers can easily supervise the employees. So ultimately, this will lead to the organizational objectives. And when it comes to job designing part, it is more interesting and challenging, right? So those are the some of the advantages of the job designing, right? So here, when we are learning through the job designing part, right, we are not focusing or giving more weight on job designing process, whereas we will give the more weight or the high weightage on the next part, which is the job analysis, right? But when we are talking about the job analysis, it is important that we have an idea on what is this job designing is, right? So are you all clear with the introduction part? Yes or no? Okay, you will find out what it is after written down the note. So write the topic as job design and subtopic as the introduction. Job design includes in, job design includes in includes in organizing task, organizing task, duties and responsibilities, duties and responsibilities, duties and responsibilities associated with a job associated with a job associated with a job to achieve organizational objectives. To achieve organizational objectives. Then you can write down this definition. Job design is the process of deciding on the content of a job in terms of its duties and responsibilities in terms of its duties and responsibilities. On the methods to be used in on the methods to be used in carrying out the job in terms of techniques systems and procedures and on the relationship that should exist between the job holder and his superiors. Subordinates and colleagues. Then write down the next topic as the advantages. First point, a properly prepared job design leads to improvements in quality of work life. Quality of work life. With a good design of work schedules, with a good design of work schedules, people see a growing future in organization which ultimately leads to which ultimately leads to high motivation at work, high motivation at work, and a positive change in their thoughts and a positive change in their thoughts
in their
positive thoughts and beliefs. Second advantage, the job design specifies the job design specifies the contents and working procedures of how the task is performed. How the task is performed. Third one, this leads to a positive change in job analysis. Fourth one, as a result of which the organizational productivity will be enhanced through efficient work performance. Right. So that's it on the advantages of the job designing. Then we are going to find out the methods of job designing, right? So when we are discussing about the methods, there are 4 methods of job designing, right? So they are job simplification, job rotation, job enlargement, and job enrichment, right? So those are the 4 methods when we are designing a job designing, right? So these 4 methods in detail we will be discussing in our next class. Okay. So up to this point, any questions which you have regarding the job design or digitalization of HR department? Anything which is not clear, you can ask me now, right? If not, we can wind up the session, right? And we will be starting up the job simplification, job rotation, enrichment, and enlargement from next class onwards. Are you all clear with what I have explained so far? Yes or no? Okay, so with your silence, I guess that everything is up to now is very much clear with you all, right? So thanks a lot for joining with me today. Hope to see you again another day in probably next week, right? So we will discuss the rest of the module, and I will be hopefully with the 2 hours, I'll be hoping to finish this module as well, right? So please prepare, go through your notes and the stuff, then we will do the covering part of the rest of the module. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great evening. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.